Hello and good afternoon. This afternoon I am making my Christmas stuffing, so I thought why not bring you along too. So I'm making it just slightly different to the recipe that's on the page, but you'll see what the difference is as we get going. So what do I need? I need a pound of sausage meat. You could just squeeze your favourite sausages from their skin and use that. I need some chopped streaky bacon. I need breadcrumbs. I need fresh breadcrumbs. Now, we made a loaf of bread yesterday and I just said to Steve, can I use it? You know, because he made it. So I'm using some of the breadcrumbs that I've made from that. I have some more over there, which I'm going to dry out and add to my breadcrumb jar. But for this, you need fresh breadcrumbs. But I say fresh, but you need to make sure your bread is at least a day old, okay? You can grate it, you can use a food processor, it's up to you. I also need some sage, onion. Normally I'd use a red onion, but today, silly person here, picked up a white onion out of the store and that's what she's using. But to counteract that, to get some red in there, I'm using a few chopped fresh cranberries. I'll also need salt and pepper. Well, you knew that was coming, didn't you? Excuse me, that's the fridge open. Salt and pepper and a beaten egg. So let's get started. Today I'm going to be using my individual induction hob so that I can just tip you down and you can see what we're doing. So to start, let's get the pan heating up. If you can remember how to do it. That's it. There we go. And press the power on. What a plonker. Right. First off, I'm going to add the bacon and fry that off. Now, I say fry it off. I don't want it crispy, but I do want it cooked. I think it gives a better texture. I'm just getting a plate and a piece of kitchen towel there, ready to drain the bacon onto. I'm also, excuse me one moment, going to be dry frying the bacon, because that way the fat that comes out I will use in my onions along with just a little knob of butter. Right, now the thing is with these is they get hot really quickly, which is wonderful. So I'm just going to turn the temp down just slightly because we don't want it burning. Right, so let's tip you down and you can see in there. Okay, so let's go in with my bacon. Right, you can just about hear a sizzle and that's fine. I don't want it cooking away to, well, goodness knows what, to be honest. I like crispy bacon as much as the next person, but maybe not in my sausage mix. Just my hand off, and we'll just get this going. And let's keep it moving so that it shouldn't stick anyway, because this is a non-stick pan from Lidl's, which is absolutely marvellous. I have spoken about this pan before, but I'll give it another plug because it's really good. It's got a lid too. I can do stir fries in it. I can cook meat in it. I mean, on the hob, not in the oven. But it's just really good. So what I'll do is I'll come back to you when this bacon is cooked to how I want it. Right then, there we go. You can see that the bacon it's just starting to colour, but basically it's taken the rawness off. And I neglected to say, smoked bacon. You really want something with flavour. I mean, obviously if you don't like smoked bacon, don't use it, but I love it. And you want something that's got a bit of flavour, because we're going to take this stuffing mix to Flavour Town. So let's get rid of all of the bacon that's in here. As I say, popped it onto the plate that I've lined with kitchen towel, and we'll just leave that to cool. So now we're going to go in with our onions, and again I'm just going to turn it down because I really don't want the onions colouring immediately. In fact, I'd rather they didn't colour at all, but we'll have to see how this goes. So they're frying beautifully in the fat from the bacon, but it's Christmas, so if you can't indulge at Christmas, when can you? So I'm going to add just a small knob of butter. Okay, so in that goes. And these onions need to fry until they're softened but not coloured. You don't want them colouring. There's just something about the smell of onions cooking. Right, so again, you've all seen how to fry an onion, so we'll come back when these are ready. Right then, here we go. The onions have softened out nicely, and what I'm going to do is just to throw in the cranberries, just so that hopefully they will start to just pop. I mean, you know, the colour of cranberries, let me turn this down, just screams Christmas, does it not? About as soft as I want them. So what I'm going to do now is pour them in with the breadcrumbs. That's including all of the butter and bacon fat that may still be in here. So there we go, and let's pour. Bet my arm's ouch in the way, isn't it? Sorry about that. And all I'm going to do is just stir them through, and at this point I'm going to add some seasoning, just salt and pepper along with the chopped sage. So I'm not going to be overly generous with the salt because remember we've used smoked bacon, but the pepper, yes, I'm going to probably be fairly heavy-handed with. Remember though, you can always add more seasoning, you can't take it away. So let's mix that up, and I'm going to throw, it looks nice already, doesn't it? Going to throw in the bacon, stir that through, and of course the sage. Now, if you're not a fan of sage, you could use rosemary, thyme, a little bit of parsley, but you know, sage and onion is the quintessential British stuffing. So, right, now I have to wait for this to cool before I can add in the sausage meat. So I'm just going to leave this to one side to cool, and we'll come back. Let me have a little smell. Oh, it does smell good. That sage is wonderful. I'm going to come back once that's cooled, and we'll add the sausage meat and the egg and any more breadcrumbs if we need them, and we'll be pretty much done. Well, we're back. the onions and the bacon have cooled sufficiently for me to be able to put my hands in there without any issues. So now I need to add in the sausage meat. And I'm really sorry about this, guys. The only way to do this is to get your hands in. So I'm just going to break off bits and then try to mix it all together. You know I'm going to get fed up of doing this and just dump it in, don't you? No, Penny, be good, be good. Right, so I've taken my ring off, I've washed my hands, and we're just going to mix it all together. We want everything. We don't want just lumps of sausage meat. We want the sausage meat, the bacon, the cranberries, the onions, the breadcrumbs. Oh, I'm really pleased with how this looks. Right, and just to help it a little, we're going to add in a beaten egg, or at least some of a beaten egg. Oops, okay, we're going to add all the beaten egg. Sorry about that, it kind of ran away with me, didn't it? Right, now that whole beaten egg has made it a little bit squidgy, and we don't want it squidgy, so I'm going to have to add in some more of the breadcrumbs. So I'll just pop those in and hope. But we don't want that noise that you can hear, really. Right, now that is all there is to it, or is it? Now we've made it, we've mixed it, we've added seasoning, but we want to make sure that everything is as we like. So I'm just going to wash my hands and I'll be back. Right, so obviously, let's look at you. Obviously, we don't eat raw sausage meat, despite what you might have done as a kid, because I do know plenty of people who did used to eat raw sausages. Okay, we don't eat raw sausage meat. So what we need to do, we need to get our pan back on the hob. Heat it up. And what we're going to do is we're going to just take a small amount of this. I'm going to try and get some with some cranberry into cranberry, sausage meat, onions, bacon and sage. And we're going to fry a small patty off just to find out if it's okay, if it's what we want. So let me increase that. Right, okay, and once that's hot enough, I've got my hand over it in case you're wondering what I'm doing. You can feel the heat radiating off. So that is the size of the ball that we're going to just fry and just test. So I'm going to need to pop this in and yeah, just see how it goes. Right, so in we go. Pop it down so you can see. Right, and you can see there's cranberry, there's sage, there's onion, there's bacon. There's obviously breadcrumbs and sausage meat there too. I'm washing my hands again because I've handled raw meat. Right, this will take a couple of minutes. I will fry it on each side and then we'll do the taste test. Okay, we're still exceedingly hot, but what I've done is I've broken it up to cool it down. So let's have a taste. Well, that's quite nice. Those cranberries really make it, actually. but I will add just a little bit more black pepper to the mix. Excuse me. So there we go. Just added in some more black pepper, and that's a stuffing mix made. Now, normally I would roll it into balls and bake it on a baking tray, either as is, balls like this, or I'd wrap half a rasher of streaky bacon around it. This year though, I'm going to be putting it into a loaf tin that I've oiled, and I'm going to be baking it, and that way I can cut slices of it. So let's just get this in. What I'll do is I'll cook it, then I will slice it, then I will wrap each slice individually and freeze it, obviously once it's wrapped, and get out as many as I need. Now, the reason for doing it in the loaf tin was actually Steve's suggestion. He doesn't like this stuffing. Can you actually believe that? Is the man mad? Well, he does live with me, so, you know, we'll leave that answer open. Excuse me, and watch again. Right. So, I'm going to bake that for about 40 minutes at 180. So that's my stuffing, and anybody else who likes it. However, Steve is a Paxo man, and over the years I have tried to persuade him that sausage meat stuffing is better, but to no avail. So in another loaf tin I have got some Paxo. I'm going to just dot the top with butter, bake it, and I will slice it, or cook it, slice it and freeze it in exactly the same way. I will, when this is baked and cut, I will show you a slice of it all done, and then that will be this video over. So, won't be long. Right then, the stuffing has cooked and I am just about to turn it out of the tin, but there you can see it, it's in the tin, and I have to say it really does smell very, very nice indeed. So I am just turning it out. Oops, did you hear that? It plopped out straight away, so that's good. And yep, it's done. There we go. Now, thinking about this, you could actually have this as a meal, you know, a main component of a meal itself, because it's everything you need is there. You've got your meat, you've got some breadcrumbs in there, you've got onions, you've got the cranberries, you've got the sage. So yeah, I mean, I can see serving up slices of that with, you could do it as a cheap roast, you could serve it with mash, you could serve it, do you know what, you could even serve it with chips. Why not? So, what I said before, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it cool, then I'm going to slice it, wrap it in individual packets, and then I will freeze it and take out what I need for Christmas Day and also for sandwiches. You know, I mean, that's a slice of that, well, maybe 2 slices of that, depending on how big your bread is. Perfect to go in a turkey sandwich, rather than having little bits and pieces of stuffing that will fall out. But whilst we're talking of turkey sandwiches and stuffing, there's the ordinary Paxo that I did, and that again has fallen out beautifully. Gosh, 2 hands, pen, 2 hands. And there's the Paxo. Now obviously you couldn't just serve Paxo. Well, no, I wouldn't serve just Paxo as the main component of a meal, but I'm going to do exactly the same with that. But I would just like to say thank you all for watching. Please give it a go. If you do give this recipe a go, let me know what you think on the page. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you really like what I'm doing, thumbs up, subscribe, ding the little bell, and you'll be notified every time I put on a new video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.